Hey Postables, you're listening to Deliver Me a Podcast, brought to you by Kaycee, Jess, and Cammie.
A special thanks to James Jandrish for letting us use the music on our show.
Now, sit back, relax, grab a yoo-hoo and a stamp collection, and here we go.
Hi, everybody. We're
Hello.
Drama, and here we are in all of our RomaDrama beauty.
Yes, so we have our shirts on.
Can I move now?
No, you're supposed to be that way the entire episode.
Be one with the photograph, Cammie.
Be one with the photograph.
So there I am, right there in the middle. So I was just taking my place.
What a beautiful photograph.
Isn't it though? The subjects, I think, are the best part, you know.
Especially those three hotties on the swing.
Hello. Oh my god.
Forget the other people.
I know some people who would not be happy with that idea.
I'm just kidding. We love you all. We love you all. Oh, well, guys. How are you guys doing? It's been a few weeks since we've returned from RomaDrama. There was a lot of excitement, a lot of running around.
Mm-hmm. It was a whirlwind of a weekend.
That is the perfect adjective for it. It was a whirlwind of a weekend.
Yeah, especially for me because I went straight from work to the airport to RomaDrama, back to the airport. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Straight into our arms.
Literally,
arms,
actually.
1.5 hours of sleep with some serious chocolate from Kaycee.
And hey, my granola bars kept you alive, miss.
Yes, and Cammie's granola bars feeding me on Friday.
Serious coffee on Friday after dinner.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't drink any coffee. And of course I was like this. Well, no, I take that back. Friday night I was a bit wired, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, yes. But before we get to Friday, let's talk about Thursday. Now, Jess was not able to be with us, sadly. But
we got the party going for you.
We did get the party going.
And I was watching all of not all of them, but I tried to catch some lives during my breaks at work. And I was sitting there feeling all jealous. I wasn't there.
I know.
Stuck at work.
We were really sad. Like there were many times during the night at the breakers that I would look over to Cammie or she'd look over to me and we were both like, this doesn't feel okay.
But I'm glad you guys got to go and experience it for me because it looked like so much fun.
Yes.
Thursday, Kaycee and I arrived. She got there before me.
I did get there before everybody. I ran into Natalie. She's Postable1231, I think, on Twitter. And we planned to meet up because I knew she was going to be there first. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go to the hotel by myself. Like, I don't want to, this is a strange town. Let me meet people. So Natalie and I are like running around the outside area because the hotel shuttle was not there. And they were like, well, we're supposed to be there in 15 minutes. And we're like, it's been 30. So I turn around, and this is the amazing thing about the Postables community. This is the one thing that stood out that day.
Well, and a lot of us were wearing these shirts so we could see each other. West Palm Beach Postables.
So I turn around and I see Fatula coming out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's Fatula! She didn't hear me because she's on the other side, and I'm like, oh wait, what if that's really not her name, or what if that's not her? And so I see her turn to look because she's also looking for shuttles because she had rented a car. And so Natalie and I are standing there, and she'd met Natalie before, and so we're like, but that was my exciting first interaction in real life with the Postables. Cammie, what about you? Because I know you had a bunch of meetings in airports.
Yeah, 3. Well, 3 to start. So Simone, Kathy, and Janice and I were on the same flight from Atlanta to West Palm Beach. And so we had 2 hours to just all sit there and talk together. Janice almost didn't make it because of traffic trying to get to the airport, but she made it. She made it in time. So all 4 of us got on the plane. But yeah, we were just having a blast chatting. And one of the first things I saw was Simone's shirt. So I was like, "Hi, Simone!" And then when we got there was, I don't even remember how many, but there was a group of about 5 to somewhere between 5 and 10 others who had come to the airport and were meeting us at our gate. And so they were all exchanging hugs and hellos. There was Kelly and Lynn. And like I said, I don't even remember everybody who was there, because I was still trying to put names to faces and profiles and all that, And so but then all of us just walked down together. We got our luggage and then we walked out to the shuttle together. That trying to find the shuttle was a bit of that was a little bit of an adventure, but we got the shuttle. I had to be separated from the rest of the Postables because I had to come and find you and make sure that everything was going smoothly for that night. So they said it very graciously. They said, "Cammie, you need to go. You need to go first." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And so I came, and then I kept on texting Kaycee, and my phone was almost dead. So I'm like, "Kaycee, please answer me. Where are you?"
Well, that was also hard too, because I was eating a very late lunch. I was finished by the time everybody started arriving. I saw our friends from Suspenders Unbuttoned, Julie, Sarah, and Catherine through the window. So again, you'll see a lot of this. If you're just listening on the iTunes or whatever, hop over to YouTube because you need to see our expressions. But basically, this was me most of Friday. So I was reuniting with them and meeting them in person. And then Cammie came up and they told me, they're like, Cammie didn't make it here yet. We just saw her in the lobby. I was like, well, she needs to hurry up and get here.
I was trying to find you. Couldn't find you.
Go to the restaurant. So outside. So finally we reunite.
And we had this big, huge hug and this hysterical photo. I spent most of Thursday with my mouth open because I was just so excited. So all the pictures are with me with my mouth open because I was just laughing from pure joy.
So fun. But let's fast forward to the Breakers.
The Breakers was really nice. So Kaycee and I got all dolled up and it was so cute because we were just a couple of girly girls in the hotel room. We're like, okay, which dress? This one. So
yes.
We finally picked our dresses, we got our hair done, and we were in resort elegant. That's how they described it, was resort elegant. And we go into this hotel and we're like,
yeah.
It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. And the other funny thing is just getting recognized by random people.
Oh, that was hysterical. Like, you guys, you're delivering me a podcast. Yes.
You're from the podcast, yes. But we did do a lot of Instagram lives that night. We tried to get on Instagram stories. We really tried to engage people because for Jess, number one priority, making sure she was with.
We wanted to keep her informed in the
for
loop.
me to live vicariously through you.
Yes.
And your Instagram stories.
But the one thing so I don't know about you guys, but when they invited us to the screener, I assumed that it was just going to be Ashley and Ryan, probably like a Trevor or a Wes or an Aaron Cahill. I was thinking like they were going to be there. But all right, Cammie, I don't know that we actually talked about this.
We didn't really know.
We didn't talk about this, but the shock of our life was when Zach, Kristen, and Crystal walk in. So I want to know your reaction because I feel like I floated out of my body in that moment And like, I only know it from my perspective. So I would love to know, like, when did you see them walk in? What was your reaction? What happened? Everything just was a blur.
So for me, once I started seeing a bunch of stars come in, then I'm like, oh, everybody's showing up. So it wasn't a huge shock for me that they showed up. It was more just, they're here. So it wasn't really a big shock, because when I started seeing stars show up, I'm like, oh, I thought that they had set up the photo screen to make us feel like stars. We could take our picture, but no, it was
that important.
no, like everybody, the fans, but then the stars started showing up. Erin Cahill showed up, and Brittany Bristow and her fiance Dustin showed up. And then Andrew Walker showed up, and I'm like, oh, the stars are coming, cool. And so then the three of them show up, and they just immediately said, hi guys, and gave us hugs. Zach, you want to say what Zach did, Kaycee?
Oh, yes. Zach greeted us very warmly and very welcoming, and he kissed us on both cheeks.
European style.
Yes.
But what he said just almost made me want to cry. He said, oh, we finally get to meet in person. Mwah, mwah. I'm like, oh, you're such a sweetheart. I held my tongue. But that's what I was thinking.
I was so in shock, because I don't know. I always separate signed sealed from the rest of Hallmark, probably because of mysteries. Also, a lot of the cast, aside from Eric and really Crystal, like a lot of them don't do a lot of the Hallmark channel.
That's true.
Side. So in my mind, I really wasn't thinking they were gonna show up. That was just my brain. But I remember I look over and I see Kristen, she's leading, and I think Crystal and Zach are kind of behind her, but she's leading, and we make eye contact, and again, what do I do? Why, Kaycee? Why? But I was just so excited. I was so excited to see everybody in person. And then Kristen walked up and I was like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And I think she said the same. And then, Zach grabbed me for a hug. And then Crystal, like they were walking in line, and then Crystal stepped out of line to hug me. I think she called me darling or something. I don't know. I was just super touched and very overwhelmed with excitement, but also trying to be podcast professional, whatever that means.
There are postables in the house. Postables in the house. There are postables in the house. We have Kristen Booth, Crystal Lowe, Zach Santiago. They are looking spectacular at this event.
Guess who we just Guess who just got here? Woo! Here they are! Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Let's guess which podcast is going crazy.
Gee, let's see.
Well, that was pretty much, besides that and meeting a lot of the actors and the fans and meeting new friends, that was really essentially Friday night.
Thursday night,
my bad. Thursday.
And don't forget the screener.
Yes.
We actually got to watch 2 Tickets to Paradise on a big screen with all the fans. And I tell you, it was cool enough when Jess and Kaycee and I met up last year and we were watching stuff together. That was cool enough. But having a whole room of Hallmark fans who actually know who these people are, because a lot of times your friends back home are like, big deal. I'm like, yeah, never mind.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
But we're in a whole room full of Hallmark fans who know who these people are, and then we're all watching a brand new movie together. And it was so funny because an exec from Hallmark got up to make an announcement at the very start, And she said, after the movie, we're going to take up a collection to buy Ryan a shirt because he was shirtless for most of the movie. Which was true.
Yeah, it was true.
And I think someone even dropped a glass the first time he appeared on the screen without
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of glass dropping that night.
Wow.
There was glass dropping and woo woo. There was a lot of that.
Yes, lots of catcalling.
Oh man.
And
So yeah, that was Thursday.
and then meeting the rest of the Postables Thursday night because I hadn't met most of them.
Yeah, we got to meet a
we
ton
kinda
of
had to
them.
run off and do the thing, and then we came back when they were coming back from dinner and ice cream or drinks or whatever, and so we all kind of
And we met up with Rachel
Yes,
Fordham
Rachel
that day.
Fordham. But yeah, Friday was lots of
Thursday.
hugs,
Thursday.
Thursday, oh my word. Thursday, lots of hugs, lots of meetings, lots of introductions and all that fun stuff. So it was a fabulous night.
Yeah.
And then there's Friday. Jess comes.
Yes, that is the day I arrived.
So you obviously like had an all-nighter. You were also meeting Postables too in airports.
Yeah, so Tracy and I were on the same connecting flight, although she barely made her flight because her first one got delayed. So she like boarded like the very last minute. So I didn't actually really see her until we got off the plane.
Oh,
Because my seat was behind.
this is tennis chick Tracy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then because I knew I needed to get to the hotel super fast to start getting ready for the panel, since I was still like I wasn't really presentable because I had come from work. And so we had Ducky pick us up instead of having to wait on the airport shuttle. So yes, Ducky was our chauffeur.
Ducky. I need to get my
I'm
duck.
gonna get Ducky to sit on my shoulder here.
My duckies are in the bathtub because
doesn't
my
work.
kids love to play with them. So
Now it's on the floor, so sorry, Ducky, I disturbed you.
we spent Friday morning doing a lot of filling prize bags and getting all of that stuff ready and
Mhm.
getting props and supplies ready for games and things like that to make sure we were all set for that stuff.
And we were scoping out the convention center.
Yeah, we walked all the way over there and we're looking around like, okay, so that's where that's going to be. Okay, and that's where that's going to be. Oh, there's the DJ. We need to go talk to him. You know?
Lots of that. Getting ready.
Mhm.
And then this is when Kaycee became like Monica Geller.
Yes, somebody was rushing me the whole time to get ready.
I'm sorry, I get really stressed before an
I was
event.
getting PTA every few
15
minutes.
minutes, guys.
But you know what? I did it, and we had plenty of time to spare.
Yes, plenty
did.
of time to spare.
And then we went to the convention center, and that's when I got to see everybody. And so for me, it was a little different because I had already met a group of the Postables in real life a few years prior, also in Florida. So I met about 20 of them, and most of them, almost all of them, were at this event as well. So for me, it was just like a big family reunion. I was like, hi, quick hug, and I just kept going round and round the whole group.
Yeah, we actually had to pull her away like, okay, Jess, we really do need to go instead.
I was like, they need all the hugs, all the hugs.
All the hugs.
That was, that's what when we got we got extrovert Jess for, a little bit.
What?
So it was the sleep deprivation, it just gave me all that sort of sleep deprived energy.
There you go.
Yeah.
The adrenaline kicked in.
Yeah, the adrenaline. That was what I was looking for. Thank you.
Lots of adrenaline. Well, all of our adrenaline was running when we were trying to find the cast to prep them for the panel. So you two, I don't even know how we decided this. I guess I went on the Instagram live. You two went to ambush the cast.
Right.
And you ambushed 4 out of 5 because the 5th one, Mr. Mavius, was MIA. So what was that experience like for you guys? Just like running up to the cast and just telling them, here's the plan.
Well, first of all, Jess said, can you do the talking? I'm like, oh, come on. Like, no, you go ahead. I'm like, you're coming with me. I'm not doing this alone. So we just kind of went down the road, and actually it was totally fine. The handlers at first, just because they didn't know who we were, they were looking at us funny, but we just said, hey, we're from Deliver Me a Podcast. Actually, I didn't even speak to Gregory. I talked to his handler instead, and I gave her the instructions because he was already engaged in conversation with somebody. So, but yeah, we went up to Zach and we said, hey, Zach, this is what's going to happen. And here's when you enter the stage. Okay, bye. And so that's what we did. We just went down the line telling them quick instructions. Okay, bye. And then we went and I even remember, I can't remember who told me, but somebody said, you better go and get behind the stage. I'm like, yes, right. And so I went and got behind the stage so that we could make our big grand entrance when DJ Animated announced us.
We, we did a little thing.
Without further ado, Animated, hit it! Please welcome the cast of Sign, Seal, Deliver!
Okay. So I went out there in my shirt that says, I don't want a nice lady, I want you. I went out, I just put it on over my outfit. So, and then I went out there and I imitated Norman in From Paris with Love. And so it's a, hi.
There's also a story behind this, Norman. So anyways, we'll tell you all the story about that later, but go on, Cami.
I did hold him in front of my face at first, and I just did the whole, well, I'm not a Hallmark star or anything instead of comedian, but I hear that you have to get warm. So I thought I would talk a little while you do that. So I just did a whole parody of the Norman speech. And then I said, I have two podcasting partners who have currently deserted me. And then they run up on stage like, oh, they're here. So,
and we got cheered for.
Yeah, you guys got cheered for.
Oh boy.
But then so then we had DJ Animated start playing Sign Seal Delivered by Stevie Wonder, and the whole cast comes dancing up. Poor Kristen, I think she couldn't quite get away, and so then she finally ran up. So
but we got them all up there.
We got them all up there, and then the fun began. Then we started the panel.
As if they need an introduction. But everybody's Latin lover of music, Zach Santiago.
What's good, Florida? How we doing, RomaDrama?
Everyone's favorite former postal employee and everybody's favorite retired FedEx employee, Mr. Gregory Harrison.
Thank you. Great to be here.
She's gorgeous in a formal. She's gorgeous in a cardigan. She's gorgeous anywhere. Miss Young K. Crystal Love. The man who said so eloquently this line, let's all say it together, I don't want a nice lady, I want you, Mr. Eric Mania.
so nice to see you. This is going to be a great weekend.
And the loveliest Shane, the woman who inspired this beautiful quote, Miss Kristen Boo!
Hi, everyone. So good to see you and so good to be here, finally, right?
All right, guys.
Wait. We're missing one.
We are missing one.
And I might be a little biased, but I'm going to say the most handsome fellow on the show, the sleeper romantic on the show, the misunderstood, clever little fellow, and I emphasize little. It's Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm happy to be here.
Zach, I gotta see Jeff. Show me Jeff. Jeff, we love you. We miss you. Everyone say hi to Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Okay, that's enough for now. Talk to you in a minute.
I'm taking this away from him.
Thank you. He would not like that. He would be very mad.
He's going to kill me, but I'll deal with that when I see it.
So Jess, favorite part about the panel for you?
I think it was the tissues. Because that's my job. Although I should have had the tissues and been ready with them, but I didn't. So
You should have.
that was my mistake. Was that
Yeah.
I didn't pack them up?
So
because
Ramona
got
cousin,
emotional.
huh?
I said because it got emotional really fast.
Yeah.
It get
so-
emotional really fast.
Yeah, so Ramona cousin saved us and threw tissues up onto the stage. And Kaycee, you caught them, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
So, and it was not, they didn't just toss it, they like chucked it.
Yeah, she chucked them.
Mom reflex.
Yeah, but I mean, in all seriousness, my favorite part of the panel, I think, is just being there with everybody. I mean, it just, like I said before, it just feels like a big family reunion, and it was just so great to be not only with the cast but with like all the postables too, and it was just fun.
Yeah.
Your turn, Kaycee.
Oh, okay. The panel, everything was such a whirlwind, but I think for me, the best part was just, again, honoring Martha, even though she wasn't there. That was really important and really sweet, because I mean, without Martha, we would not be together at all. There would be no show. And so honoring Martha, again, I think that was a highlight here, and hearing the stories from the cast about her, and them honoring her was really sweet. I would also venture to say that a funny moment that stands out is just Zach Santiago, man. That the man is brilliant. The man is a brilliant improver, because Cammie just handed over Jeff's head because Jeff could not attend, as he booked a really cool project, as the cast shared. So we brought Jeff with us in flat Jeff Norman form. But Zach going off and showing off Norman / Jeff was a super fun moment too.
And him trying to FaceTime Jeff in the middle of the panel.
FaceTime him right there on the stage.
He could have been in his trailer, it could have been fine. We wouldn't have kept him that long.
Oh, my turn.
Your turn.
Okay, so I kind of had two. Is that okay?
I had two, so go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, and this is going to sound a little bit selfish, but I'm a performer. And so being up on that stage was so thrilling. And to just be with everyone up on that stage, to be with you guys, and we had just so recently reunited, and then to be with the cast. I'm sitting up here with the stars of Signed, Sealed, Delivered. Okay, be cool, Cammie, be cool. And so that being on stage is what I love to do. And so just being up there and hearing the laughter and the cheering, and just it it was all kind of a soaking in experience for me. And when Kristen, oh no, here we go. So one of the questions, yep, here they come. Thank you, Jess. Oh my God.
I'm prepared today.
So one of the questions was, what is the theme that you have taken away from all the movies? And Kristen answered, and she said that a family can be chosen, that it doesn't just have to be your biological family. And I have felt that so keenly in the last year or two. And these two ladies and so many others who are not my biological family have become my family. And we're all sitting up there together. And I almost started to bawl my eyes out, like, be professional, be professional, be professional. And so that was just soaking all of that in, was just such a beautiful moment for me. And the other thing I think was listening to Gregory talk. Because he's been an actor for longer than any of the others have. And so just listening to him talk about projects, and listening to him talk about Martha, and listening to him talk about how he wants to play a president one day, because that's one role he hasn't done. And then the cast all jumping in and saying, we'd vote for you for president. And then that leads in, I know I'm almost saying everything, but that kind of leads into my other part that I loved, and that was the game. That the how well do you know your castmates, and just watching them pick on each other and choose each other, and oh yeah, this is totally what this person would do. You know, Kaycee did this part, so she asked a question: who is most likely to among the castmates? And we had folders for them with all the names, and oh, Kaycee's getting it out. There it is. Yep. And so then they would choose who the answer was, and they would all hold up their choice. And some of them were all different, and some of them were unanimous. And so that was just fun, watching them be a family, you know, just, yeah.
That was super fun. And there were 2 missed opportunities. So when I said, okay, we're going to play a game, Kristen looked at me and was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? And I should have said, honey, this was your idea, remember? You were the one that said, oh, this is fun. We should play this at RomaDrama. I should have.
Yes, because we've done a version of this with several in our interviews before.
Yes, but I was like, man, I should have said that, especially after she threw me under the table, under the bus, for not having a yellow folder.
Oh yeah, she totally called you out.
Listen, I seriously thought Kristen Booth was going to take my Postables card away.
Well, she would have the right to do so.
Yellow. It's like, I don't know. I just grabbed folders. I'm sorry.
No, that was hysterical.
No, but it was super fun. The cast, they were all really great, rolling with the punches. I mean, just because there were so many things happening. I mean, for them, for us, and so I mean, us not being able to really gather together as a group and just kind of going through everything. Because I'm a very planned out, structured person, if you don't already know that. Who, me? What? Yeah, I'm like the product of like probably like Oliver and Monica Geller, like, you know, with the exception of yellow folders, but whatever. But despite all of that, they rolled with the punches, and everything was so fantastic. I mean, it just felt like a really great, happy time. And I love that even the crowd was kind of involved, like hear a comment every now and then, or one of the cast members would call out one of the audience members for their emotions or, you know, just different things. So it really did feel like a family, and it was definitely a highlight. And I just also want to take the time to once again thank Gabrielle and Sarah for giving us the opportunity to host the panel, because originally it was supposed to be somebody else, but that person was not able to do it. And so when they came to us and asked us, just because of our podcast, it was it was an honor. It was a true honor to be asked. And that was something that we know, isn't taken lightly. And again, we want to just say thank you. And then I might get emotional. So I'm going to pass the mic on. Whoever wants to take it now.
Well, let's go more lighthearted. We ended the panel singing Sign, Sail, Deliver together.
Let me hear ya. Rock the boss.
And then the mic got flipped and we were the panelists.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, the podcaster panel, which was Jess's least favorite part. Not because there was anything wrong
Jess had to talk
with the panel. Well, it's not even that I have to talk. It's I prefer, especially as an introvert, to know what the questions are that I'm going to be asked. I don't like on the spot answers to things, because my real answer, like my good idea answer, is always like after the moment has passed, like a true introvert. Like
that's the way everybody is.
No. I'm not good with on-spot thinking, but it was fine. It was totally fine.
Well, the podcaster panel, just to recap really quick, Deck the Hallmark. So Brand, Panda, and Dan, Grumpy Dan, us repping Deliver Me a Podcast and Hallmarkies, although apparently I only represented Hallmarkies and you two represented Deliver Me a Podcast.
Neil Bledsoe, he already had a beer in his hand by that point, so who knows.
I think that's how it was written on the paper, because I did sneak a
I
glance
think
at it.
Oh, that's how it was written on the paper.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
I retract that comment.
Then our friends from Suspenders Unbuttoned, Sarah, Catherine, and Julie, and then Dara from Dear Hallmark. So those are the panelists. And then also shout out to the OG of OGs, podcasters, Jax from the Hallmark Channel's Bubbly Sesh.
I still couldn't understand why she wasn't on the panel.
Yeah, I don't know, but she was our number one fan. I mean, like, for not like just us, but she was the number one fan for the podcasters, and that's like the beautiful thing about Jax.
She just sat there and she was screaming and yelling for us,
laughing, and she
was our champion.
I mean, and she was that for everybody. Like, as a podcaster community, she was our biggest cheerleader, as the 4 groups that were represented, and so. I just loved that, because anytime somebody would say something like, it was one of those panels that were a little lighter on the audience side. So having her in the front and like just knowing like she's there laughing and enjoying it was a lot. It meant a lot for all of us.
Definitely.
And then we ran like heck as soon as the panel was over to catch the last half hour of the Postables cocktail party. And that's when we finally got food. We were starving by then.
At that point, mission 1 was food.
Yes.
And water. I was dying after doing the Postable panel and then walking around and talking to everybody and then doing the podcaster panel. Like,
water. I was there for the cocktail, but
I need hydration. I need water.
Yes. And then we decided to leave a little early because some of us were getting hangry and needed food. So we
need real food.
So we went with Rachel Fordham and found a delightful little pizza place, or like across the street and around the corner. And that was some good pizza.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
It was good pizza. So we had pizza and we were able to relax and we were able to drink our waters. I think I had 3 giant glasses of
water. Oh yeah, we said leave the pitcher.
Yes. And then that, I will say, that area right across from where we're staying at the Hilton, the square was really nice. Just like walking through, and there are restaurants everywhere, and it wasn't like a super major thoroughfare where there were a ton of cars everywhere. So you felt fairly safe walking. So that area was super nice. Jess and I grabbed our Starbucks because
we
there was
needed caffeine.
Another event. There's something called like karaoke with the stars. Something about that, and
I heard something about it.
Somebody singing stuff. I don't know, Jess. What did you know about the karaoke with the star thing? I mean,
no, I think I zoned out through most of it. No, I'm just kidding. It was a blast to do. Well, I didn't actually do karaoke, but just to be there and like sing in the crowd and support everybody. And we had some really exciting things happen during karaoke.
Yes. So we'll go kind of in chronological order because there are some things we'll just build from here. So first of all, the postables. There are several postables that went up to sing. Like Becky and her dad, they sang, I think, a duet.
I think so.
Yes, so they sang a duet. That was really sweet. Ashley, who is the founder of the Postables group, she sang a fabulous solo.
So good.
At last.
So
oh
good.
My gosh, it was incredible.
It was fantastic. And then
Nicole and Kristen.
Nicole and Kristen sang Tim McGraw. And
Kristen and Serena,
yes, one of the Postables daughters sang A Million Dreams, which we've got to talk about this. We've got to talk about Kristen Booth and this whole thing. So the karaoke with the stars was really a charity event, is really what it was. It was to raise money for No Kid Hungry. It started off with Kristen offering up a auction for Shane's wedding dress that night. And also leading up to this event, people can donate so much money. And then she would do like, if you donated $50, she'd send you a autograph, like $250s, like a call or something like that. But there are different level tiers. And so she raised so much money. And then Tyler Hines came in and said, hey, I will join this cause too. And so if you donate, you will put your name in for a private dinner with me. So 5 fans and their friends, so a group of 10 people would dine and wine with Tyler. And they raised almost $50,000,
which is absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
No, I think they got passed. I think after the fact.
Oh, wow.
I think they got their goal of $50,000. I know that before they reached the end goal, it was 45.
Yeah.
And then I'm almost certain that they got to the 50,000 goal. Now, don't quote me on it, but I'm almost certain.
Yeah. Well, that's really awesome. Either way, it's awesome. So Kristen walked in on stage in Shane's wedding dress. And so that was a really sweet exchange because Crystal introduced her and was like, this is my bestie. And Kristen said a few words about the dress. She called out, or I think Crystal called out Oliver, where's the groom? And I don't know if you guys saw this exchange because like we were focused on Kristen and she said something like, I wore this for you, darling. And I don't know if you've seen it, but some people got Eric's reaction.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It is so sweet. He says, he's audibly impressed. And so it was really sweet because he's like up in the back and stuff, and she's up in the front in the dress, and Crystal's, yelling, Shane, come back, Shane. But yeah, so that was the whole point of that night, was to do the online auction for the wedding dress. And after Kristen did her duets with Nicole and with Serena, one of the youngest Postables, they decided to reveal, it was time to reveal who won the wedding dress.
And it was Spatula.
It was Spatula.
Spatula won.
Spatula won. She is a generous heart.
I think Kristen has an announcement.
All right, you guys, we have a winner. We have a winner, and Kristen's going to announce it. Get up there. Get up there. Spill them beans.
Well, I just have to take a second and say a few words about the woman who won the bid on this dress. She has been a steady, unbelievable support of the Postables, signed, sealed, delivered, but also of mine since the very beginning. I cannot say enough wonderful things about this woman. I'm like, why did you do this? She does so much for the Postables and for me. And I'm proud to call her my friend. Fatula, get your butt. Honestly, guys, this woman has gone above and beyond. I haven't had cold. Don't worry, I don't have COVID. I've tested it 8 million times. She drove to 3 different pharmacies to find me NyQuil and Dayquil. That's this woman. Tula. Let's have a big round of applause for Tula.
It's also true. Like, she's so giving of herself, of her time, and just kindness just overflows from this woman. And we all thought that was it. We all were like, okay, Fatula has the wedding dress. Woo woo.
Of course it wasn't it. It's Fatula.
Hey, give it up, everybody! Hey, cut music. Fatula's got something to say. Oh, I got it. There you go. Oh. I'll strip too. Talk to the mic, please.
As much as I love the dress and I want to keep it, oh my gosh, I am going to donate it. The gifts keep on giving from this woman. I'm going to donate it to one of your members and who I hope that one day she's going to wear it.
Oh!
Serena?
Serena!
Serena!
Wow. Did anyone see that twist coming?
We can't write this stuff, not even on Hallmark. Maybe on Hallmark.
Oh my goodness.
Padula paid it forward and so generously donated the wedding dress to young Serena for when she's older. And cue the tissues because I think everyone probably lost it at that moment.
Kristen died. She could not hold it in. She was sobbing.
And we know I'm not the emotional one. I didn't cry, but I definitely I think I started to tear up. Like I felt the emotion as well. Because that's how powerful it was.
Say that again.
We want audio confirmation.
We already got audio confirmation.
I did not cry, nor did I feel tears well up, but I definitely got goosebumps. I was just so excited for everything. Again, remember, this is Thursday and Friday where Kaycee was like this the entire time. That was me. I was like screaming, so excited. But it was so sweet. And the full circle moment when Kristen and Serena sang the duet, like nobody planned that. That's the other thing. Like it wasn't planned. It wasn't like, oh, Serena's gonna sing a song. It was such a full circle Hallmark moment. It was so beautiful and just so touching and so sweet. And Serena, I mean, man, your mom's gonna send me the dress or whatever, the stuff. We're gonna send you a nice gift when you get married in that dress. Hit us up in about like 15 years.
Tell ya, if that girl doesn't have a Postables themed wedding, I don't know what she's gonna do. You know?
Oh man. Well, that was karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that wrapped up Friday.
Up Friday.
Oh, we got to meet Wes Brown and Colin Egglesfield during our break time. Yeah, we met them.
That's true. And you know what? Andrew Walker just decided to hang out with us on the floor for a hot second. I don't really know why he did that.
Yeah, I don't remember, because Friday is over at this point, right?
Friday?
Karaoke was over after that moment. Nothing else.
Okay,
happened.
you guys, that's enough.
All right, go ahead.
Tammy, you demoted us, so therefore
no such thing.
You demoted us to handler and random fan.
You guys did that yourselves.
Now, Cammie, tell us about Friday from your perspective, specifically the last 5 minutes of the night.
So the last 5 minutes of the night. So if you listened to the interview that Kaycee and I did with Andrew on Hallmarky's podcast, then you'll know that Kaycee very lightly, just out of fun, said, hey, why don't the two of you do a duet on karaoke night?
So with RomaDrama, the word on the street is that there will be a karaoke with the stars night. So we would like to know, what is your go-to karaoke song? What can we expect Andrew Walker to be?
What are we gonna hear Andrew Walker
Friday night?
Guys, no joke. I have a list that I keep in my emails of, because you know when karaoke hits, every time that when you're at a karaoke night, you never know what to pick. I'm always stumped.
It's
so
true.
I just keep a list that I've emailed myself of songs that I need to sing on karaoke night. And I mean, I'm a huge Hall & Oates fan, so you know, there's probably a little Hall & Oates sprinkled in there, Private Eyes, or what's the other one? Private Eyes are watching you, Papa, listen your every move. And then there's what else?
Oh, I want to see you bust out on that one. Oh yeah, that'll be. So
fun. I
I
like a little soul, you know. What's another one? Some ballads. Oh man, I'm blank. See, this is why I have my list, my email list. This is why I have Def Leppard. There's some Def Leppard. I'm big on the 80s glam rock, you know, something like some boat rock.
Okay.
You know what they call boat rock?
I've got one for you.
Yeah.
Everybody in the entire room is gonna fall off their chairs. Everything I Do.
Oh, yes, that's a good
one.
Brian
Adams, Everything I Do. There would not be a dry eye in the room.
I like that. Yes. That might go on my list, Cammie.
There you go.
And this one goes out to Cammie, everybody. This one goes out to Cammie. Cammie Clements. Maybe Cammie, maybe I'll do that for you that night. We'll see how it goes. Just throw caution to the wind.
There you go. You guys can duet together.
I'll do it.
Cammie, you want to do duet with me on that one?
I love that song. I would totally do a duet with you with that song.
Everything I do it for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, it was crazy that night because they didn't really know which system to follow. Do we follow the list of people who have signed up? Do we follow the line of people who are lined up to do it? You know, it just got very, very confusing. And so finally I went to go and check because we had been talking about this for a long time. And then I had talked to him earlier that night and he said, I'm totally ready for this. I've listened to it like 5 times. I am ready. I'm like, oh gosh, what if we don't get to do it? So I'm standing there and I'm asking the DJ, is there any way that we could do one more? He said, I don't know. We got to do a hard end. We got to do a hard end at 10:30. And Gabrielle just happened to be standing right there. And I said, Gabrielle, would it be okay? It's like 10:27. And so I said, Gabrielle, would it be okay if Andrew and I did this one last song? We've been planning it for 6 months and he's listened to it over and over and over to get ready. And she said, oh, I'm not getting in the way of that. Yes. So Andrew Walker and I were kind of the closing number of karaoke night, singing Everything I Do together, and it was kind of amazing. So
you will see what you mean to me. Such a heart, such a soul, and when you find me there, you'll search no more. Don't tell me it's not worth trying for. You can't tell me it's not worth dying for. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you.
I was actually very nervous the whole time. I didn't want my voice to crack because even though it was karaoke night, I already said I'm a performer. I wanted to sing it well. I didn't want to be silly and goofy. I wanted to give a real performance. But Andrew and I hadn't practiced together or anything like that. We just got up and we just started singing. And so, but I was afraid my voice would crack because it goes so low. So I'm just like, dip into the chest voice, baby. And we sang and it was awesome. And Kaycee and Jess and Jax wouldn't stop screaming.
We were just huddled in a pool on the floor because, well, so I started recording and I'm like, I don't have a good angle. I was only capturing Cammy's like right side. I'm like, no, I need a full front view to really capture this moment. So I'm like weaving through the crowd trying to get to the front, and I think Kaycee and Jax were already there, and so we were all just like sitting on the floor filming Cammy, and it was just such a fun like girl moment.
Yes. Jess, I caught a video of you. Like I think Kaycee Jax turned the camera to you for a minute, and you went, I was like, what did I do wrong?
I think that's when you started dancing together, and I was like, wow. It just caught me off guard. I was like, oh my.
Yes, Andrew Walker and I may have slow danced during the interlude. I came up with that completely on the spot. I'm like, we can't just stand there. Okay, let's dance. And he was thankfully on board with it. So we get done, and it was amazing. And then I walked down and rejoined the girls, and we're just laughing and having a fabulous time. We're going live. We're talking. They're calling me a queen. I'm like, okay, guys, wow, that's enough. And then Andrew comes over, and I say, oh, look, it's the king. And so he comes and sits with us for a second and does the live with us. And then he gets up and he says, Kimmy, that was such an awesome pick. And then he said, you did great, baby. And I'm like, same to you, honey. Just being silly. And so then we're all sitting on the floor together, and I almost lost it. I almost started crying because it was so emotional. I had gotten up on the stage with Andrew Walker. I had sung a duet and I made it through, and then I'm on the floor and I'm like, ah. So I'm like, make it to the hotel room, make it to the hotel room. And then we made it back to the hotel room, and then I cried, and they let me for a little bit. It was just such an emotional thing. It was such an emotional thing because I love to sing. Acting and singing are my two passions of life besides my faith and my family. And yes, that includes you guys. You're my family. So
we got put at the end of this list here.
Promoted.
So, but it was just such an emotional thing that I got to do my passions with a guy who is highly respected in this field. And yeah, it was incredible. It made my Friday night.
I think it made a lot of people's Friday nights because like the crowd went wild.
They did.
From a crowd.
That was another really cool part, is just so many people were yelling and cheering and then coming up to me, and I'm still getting people saying, "You did so beautifully." I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
It's just so kind. So kind.
And yeah, so for me, I was filming for you, and so I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to the front. So I'm like with the phone. And I'm like, okay, here we are.
I got my badge. It says all access, all areas.
Excuse me from the podcast. Excuse me from the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. But I really did feel like, okay, I'm like, okay, this is the last number. Nobody's going to care. And I knew the postables were all up front anyway. So I'm like, okay, I can at least scoot there and sit on the floor. Plus, I'm pretty sure all of Tyler Hines people did it when he did.
Oh, I had no qualms. I just went up there and was like, this is my spot.
Yeah. But man, what a night. What a night. And might I also say that everything I do, I will never listen to that the same way ever again.
So on Sunday, he said, make sure you come and say goodbye. That was he said, before you leave on Sunday, make sure you come and say goodbye. So on Sunday, I went and I found him, and of course there was a line to the back wall to meet him, and so I just kind of stood there quietly, and he saw me and he's like, oh, Cammie, and he just gets up from his table. I'm like, oh gosh, don't hate me, to the fans, and he gives me this huge hug, and he says, thank you so much again for asking me to do that with you. That was so much fun. We need to make this a yearly thing. We need to do a power ballad every year.
Cammie and Andrew show coming.
Well, we'll see how we can make that work.
I mean, the karaoke was a big hit. I would, if I had to pitch to RomaDrama, I would say do that again.
Yeah, I think the only problem is it was too short. We needed more karaoke.
Yeah. We needed it a lot longer. Oh yeah.
And next time we'll do our song. And
the three of us tried to get up there, but like I said, the list was just weird.
Now we have a whole year. We can choreograph a dance to go.
Oh man.
There we go. We can we're gonna plan this out, ladies. We're gonna figure it out.